Huawei is making a serious comeback. And honestly, this might be one of the most interesting smartphones the company has released in years. The new Huawei Pura 90s Pro Max is finally going global, and this isn't just another small update. Huawei has packed this phone with flagship features from top to bottom: a massive display, a huge battery, super fast charging, and a camera setup that looks like it wants to challenge every premium phone on the market. So let's break it all down in simple English and see if this phone is really worth the hype. The first thing you'll probably notice is the design. Huawei has changed things quite a bit. Instead of using curved sides like the previous model, the Pura 90s Pro Max now has a flat frame. Some people actually prefer this. A flat frame usually gives you a better grip. The phone feels more secure in your hand, and it also gives the phone a cleaner, more modern look. Huawei also brought back something that many longtime fans will remember: the beautiful gradient color design. If you remember the old Huawei P20 Pro, you'll probably feel a little nostalgic. The colors change depending on how the light hits the phone. It's eye-catching without looking too flashy. Build quality also looks impressive. The phone comes with both IP68 and IP69 ratings. That means it's built to handle water, dust, and even high-pressure water in certain situations. Of course, that doesn't mean you should start washing your phone under a tap, but it's nice to know the phone is built to survive accidents. Now let's move to the display. Huawei didn't hold back here. The Pura 90s Pro Max comes with a huge 6.9-inch OLED display. If you enjoy watching YouTube, Netflix, playing games, or simply scrolling through social media, you're going to appreciate a screen this big. The display can show over 1 billion colors. That simply means pictures and videos should look rich, colorful, and more natural. The refresh rate is also impressive. It can change automatically between 1 Hz and 120 Hz depending on what you're doing. When you're reading something simple, the phone lowers the refresh rate to save power. When you're gaming or scrolling quickly, it jumps up to 120 Hz for smoother movement. That's smart because you get smooth performance without wasting power. Huawei also added extra protection to the display. It helps reduce reflections from bright light. It also improves scratch resistance, and it gives the screen better protection if you accidentally drop the phone. Now let's talk about the biggest highlight: the cameras. Huawei has always been known for making excellent camera phones, and with the Pura 90s Pro Max, they are trying to continue that tradition. The main camera uses a 50-megapixel sensor, but what makes it interesting is the variable aperture. Now don't let that complicated name scare you. Here's what it actually means. The camera can control how much light enters the lens. When it's dark, it opens wider to capture more light. When it's bright outside, it closes a little to keep photos sharp and balanced. That helps improve photos in many different situations. But the real star of the show is the telephoto camera. Huawei included a massive 200-megapixel telephoto sensor. Yes, 200 megapixels. That's an enormous number. This camera gives you 4x optical zoom. That means you can zoom in without losing image quality. If you want to go even further, Huawei says you can zoom all the way up to 100 times digitally. Now let's be honest, very few people will actually use 100x zoom every day, but having that option is still impressive. Even better, the telephoto camera isn't only for photos. It also supports video zoom up to 20 times. So if you're recording concerts, wildlife, sports, or something happening far away, this could become a very useful feature. Huawei also included professional image stabilization. That helps reduce shaky photos and videos, especially when you're zoomed in. The phone also includes Huawei's improved color camera. Its job is simple: make colors look as close to real life as possible. Nobody wants photos that look too dull or colors that look fake. Huawei says this new system should produce brighter, richer, and more natural-looking pictures. And of course, artificial intelligence is everywhere now. This phone includes several AI photography tools. They can help improve pictures automatically, clean up details, adjust lighting, improve colors, and make editing much easier. Whether you love AI features or not, they're becoming a normal part of flagship smartphones. Now let's talk about battery life. Huawei didn't disappoint here either. Inside the phone is a huge 6,000 milliamp battery. That's larger than many flagship phones available today. A battery this size should easily last an entire day for most people, even if you spend hours watching videos, browsing social media, taking photos, or playing games. But battery size is only part of the story. Charging is where Huawei really shows off. The phone supports 100-watt wired fast charging. It also supports 80-watt wireless charging. That's incredibly fast. Even better, Huawei includes the 100-watt charger inside the box. These days, many companies don't even include a charger anymore, so getting a super fast charger included is definitely a nice bonus. Now let's talk about availability. Huawei is starting its global launch in Malaysia. After that, the phone is expected to arrive in more countries across the Middle East and Europe. That's good news for Huawei fans who have been waiting for another flagship device outside China. Now let's talk about the price. The Huawei Pura 90s Pro Max comes with 12 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage. That's plenty of memory for almost everyone. The phone is priced at 4,899 ringgit in Malaysia. That works out to more than 1,000 euros. So yes, this is definitely a premium smartphone. It's competing with phones like the latest Galaxy Ultra devices, iPhones, and other high-end flagships. Now the big question, is it worth it? On paper, the answer looks very promising. You get a premium design, a beautiful OLED display, a huge battery, very fast charging, massive storage, and one of the most interesting camera systems Huawei has ever made. Of course, real-life performance will still matter. We'll need to see how the cameras perform in everyday situations, how good the battery life really is, how well the software runs, and how it compares against other flagship phones. But one thing is already clear. Huawei isn't giving up. The company is pushing hard to return to the premium smartphone market. And with the Pura 90s Pro Max, it looks like Huawei is reminding everyone that it still knows how to build a true flagship smartphone. Whether this phone becomes one of the best phones of the year is something we'll find out after more real-world testing. But from everything we've seen so far, the Huawei Pura 90s Pro Max definitely looks like a smartphone that's worth paying attention to.